You are sleeping on a stranger's floor in Queens and you have $11 in your account. Not 1100, 11. And you are not going home. Like, back home, you had a bed, a job, and a life that fit like a waiting room, functional, clean, and completely unbearable. Every morning, the same ceiling. Every weekend, the same conversations with people who stopped asking what you wanted a long time ago because the answer made them uncomfortable. So, you left. No plan, no safety net, just a duffel bag, a one-way ticket, and the kind of stupid courage that only lives in people who haven't failed yet. You land at JFK on a Tuesday. It's raining. The taxi smells like pine air freshener and broken promises. You watch the city rise through the window. Gray towers, gray sky, gray highway. And none of it looks like the videos that made you do this. You think, okay, this is real now. It is so much more real than you are ready for. Your first address in New York is Marcus's living room floor in Ridgewood, Queens. Marcus is not your friend. Marcus is the guy from your college dorm who said, hit me up if you ever come to New York at a party 2 years ago, drunk, as a thing people say and never mean. You texted him anyway. He said, sure. You treated that like a foundation, because when you have nothing, anything feels like something. His apartment has 4 people in it, now 5. You sleep on a blow mattress between a broken IKEA shelf and a bike nobody rides. The bathroom has a schedule. The kitchen has 1 working burner. There is an unspoken tension in the air at all times that you don't fully understand because you don't know these people and they don't know you. And everyone is pretending this is fine. It is not fine. 2 weeks in, Marcus sits you down and tells you he needs his space back. Not mean about it, just honest in the way people are when they've been waiting to say something for a while. You tell him no problem. You tell him you've got something lined up. You have nothing lined up. You spend that night on your blow mattress doing math that doesn't work, scrolling apartments you can't afford, texting people back home who respond with OMG, that's crazy, and nothing else. Outside the window, New York keeps moving. Sirens, music, someone laughing loud on the street at 2 a.m., like the city owes them a good time. You stare at the ceiling and think, I cannot go back. I cannot go back. I cannot go back. Okay, finding an apartment in New York with no money is not apartment hunting. It's a psychological experiment designed to break you. Every listing wants first month, last month, security deposit. Every landlord wants proof of income at 40 times the monthly rent. 40 times. A apartment for $1,800 requires you to earn $72,000 a year. You don't earn $72,000 a year. You don't earn anything because you don't have a job yet, because you don't have an address, and you don't have an address because you don't have a job. You find a room in Bushwick, 8 feet by 10 feet. Technically a large closet, shared kitchen and bathroom with 3 strangers, no living room, no natural light before 11 a.m. The landlord accepts cash, asks no questions, and hands you a key that looks like it was cut in 1987. You pay 2 months up front. You have $11 left. You move your duffel bag from Marcus's floor to your closet room. You put your clothes on a nail in the wall because there's no closet. You sit on your blow mattress and stare at the one window and think, this is the bottom. The only direction now is up. You are wrong. It gets worse before it gets up. You apply to 60 jobs in 3 weeks. You hear back from 5. 2 are scams. 1 is a pyramid scheme wearing a blazer. 1 pays $14 an hour and requires you to already own a car. 1 is a warehouse job in the Bronx that starts at 5 a.m. and pays cash. You take the warehouse job. Every morning you wake up at 3:45. You take 2 trains and a bus in the dark. You lift boxes for 8 hours next to men who have been lifting boxes for years and have a whole philosophy about it. You come home at 2 p.m., sit on your blow mattress, eat a bodega sandwich, and apply to more jobs. You do this every day for 3 weeks until a staffing agency places you as a temp at an office in Midtown doing data entry for a financial company that doesn't know your name and doesn't want to. It pays better. You quit the warehouse. You develop a relationship with the dollar slice place on your corner. $1, one slice. Fold it in half. That's lunch, sometimes dinner. You buy groceries on Sunday. Rice, eggs, a bag of frozen vegetables, 2 cans of beans, and make it stretch to Friday. You become very good at making it stretch. You check your account every single morning before you do anything else. The number is always smaller than you need it to be, and always just barely enough to survive. That gap between what you need and what you have is where you live. In that gap, every day, the loneliness is not what you expected. You expected to miss home. You do. But that's not the thing that gets you. The thing that gets you is being surrounded by 8 million people and being completely, totally, surgically invisible. New York is full of people who are busy as a personality, not busy like they have things to do, busy as a defense. Nobody makes eye contact on the subway. Your coworkers at the temp job are polite and unreachable. You go to a bar alone on a Friday to try to talk to people, and everyone is already inside their own world with the doors closed. You walk home at midnight through Bushwick, and the streets are alive and loud, and not one single person is looking at you, and you feel it. That specific loneliness that only exists in crowds. The kind that's worse than being alone in a quiet room, because at least in a quiet room, you don't have to watch everyone else's life happening without you in it. You call your mom one night. She asks when you're coming home. You tell her you're not. She's quiet for a moment, and then she says, I just don't want you to struggle. You want to tell her struggling is the whole point, that you left because comfortable was killing you, that $11 in a closet room is more alive than you felt in years, even when it's also terrifying. But you don't say any of that. You say, I'm okay, Mom. I'm figuring it out. You hang up and sit in the dark in your 8x10 room, and for the first time since you landed, you let yourself feel all of it. The fear and the loneliness and the gap and the $11 and the question underneath everything that you haven't been able to answer yet, what if this doesn't work? You sit with that question for a long time. Then you go to sleep because tomorrow the temp job starts at 9 and the dollar slice place opens at 7 and the city doesn't stop moving just because you need a minute. The turn happens on a random Tuesday at a laundromat on Myrtle Avenue. Her name is Priya. She's folding a mountain of clothes with the focused energy of someone who has approximately 0 time to waste. You're sitting across from her watching your single load spin because it's cheaper to do everything at once. She looks at your one sad load rotating in the drum and says, completely unprompted, You just moved here, didn't you? Not a question, a read. You ask how she knows. She says, You've got the face. Everyone has the face the first year. Like the city is doing something to you and you haven't decided if you like it yet. You laugh for the first time in 2 weeks. Priya moved from Houston 3 years ago with nothing. She does graphic design now, freelance, enough to live on, building toward something bigger. She knows every trick this city offers to people who can't afford it. Free concerts in the park, museums with pay-what-you-can days, the farmer's market on Sunday that marks everything down at 4 p.m. when vendors want to go home, which subway lines run express, which bodegas don't overcharge. She tells you the thing nobody told you before you came. The first year is just about not leaving. That's the whole job. Don't leave. You start meeting her at the laundromat every week. Then for coffee. Then she introduces you to her people, actual humans living actual lives in this city, who pull you into their world without making you earn it first. You go to a rooftop in July where someone's playing guitar and someone else brought too much food, and the whole of Manhattan is lit up on the horizon. And you look around at these people you didn't know 3 months ago and think, oh, this is how it happens. This is how you get a life here. Not all at once, in pieces, one laundromat conversation at a time. By month 7, the temp contract converts to full-time, real salary, benefits, your own desk with your name on a Post-it note that the office manager put there, and which you leave up for 2 months because it's the first thing in this city with your name on it that isn't a lease. You move out of the closet room in Bushwick. You find a real apartment, small fourth floor walk up, one window that looks directly at a brick wall, but yours, completely, entirely yours. The first night you sleep there, you lie on your actual mattress, on your actual floor, and you feel the specific weight of a thing that's been tight in your chest for 7 months finally release. Not relief exactly, something quieter than that. Something that feels like, okay, I'm here, I'm actually here. New York didn't give you anything. The city gives nobody anything. It just stands there, enormous and indifferent, and watches you either fold or figure it out. It will fill your apartment the day you leave and never say your name again. But here's what nobody tells you before you buy the ticket. That indifference is the whole point. Because every single thing you build here, every friend, every dollar, every morning you wake up and decide to stay, you built it in a city that owed you nothing, with nothing in your pocket. And nobody can take that math away from you. In a city of 8 million people, you made it count.